Yo, what's up guys? I am back. My name is Alexander Garza and this is my YouTube channel. If you guys are not subscribed, just pause the video real quick. Actually, don't even pause it. Just scroll down, click the subscribe button. You're obviously interested in this video, so you might as well just subscribe and like watch the rest of them and like them and comment and stuff like that and tell me how cool I am and how cool my car is, because I've been working real hard on it. I don't know why I'm doing so many thumbs up. This is so weird. The car is running, the car is driving. We're gonna install something else in the car, and what we got here is we got the dual caliper setup and hydro. Comes with Z32 calipers, and if you guys don't know, I already have Z32 calipers on my car, so now I'm gonna have two Z32 calipers on each side. Now, the kit I bought is used. Everything I buy is used because I'm kind of cheap. Came off a working car. I know it works. Shout out to Mac from Nuisance. And yeah, so let's show you what I got here. Welcome to my kitchen counter. We out here. Anyways, here's our dual caliper setup. Right here we have an ASD pull style handbrake, and comes with a Willwood master, and it says right there 0.75. So I believe that's just a 3/4 inch. So hopefully we don't have to pull this thing to the freaking bottom of the center console to get it to lock up. So I heard that was a pretty good one. And it also came with this mount that's going to bolt directly in my 180SX. Cool thing about it is it's left hand or right hand drive. You just flip it upside down, and you can also flip it the other way to where you can have it sitting further towards you or further away from you if you flip it the other way. So the cool thing about that, so I already kind of mocked it up in my car. I wanted to sit closer to me because I'm tall, my seat's far back and stuff like that. Also came with these freaking awful yellow Z32 calipers, and he said the pads were just about brand new. He was telling the truth. They are just about brand new, if not 100% brand new. So that's cool, don't have to do that. And then it comes with this brake line. So, oh my god, how are you gonna mount these calipers, you ask? Well, the thing that I didn't get with this kit is this. I had to buy this separately. This is from GK Tech. Luckily, GK Tech makes a dual Z32 bracket for a 240SX, 180SX that it's pretty simple to install. All you have to do is take it apart. So what it does is basically, let's just get all this stuff out of the way. So basically, you just unbolt your hub off of your knuckle, and then you just freaking sandwich that in there. They give you longer bolts because now you're I believe they said this is 7mm. This is going to add 7mm of thickness to your car because obviously it's going to push your hub out. So they do give you longer bolts, hopefully stronger as well. So yeah, you just take these, you sandwich them in between the knuckle and the hub. And then I don't know what this is probably to align a caliper properly or something like that. So the thing about this is, you see it puts the calipers right next to each other. Thing about this is you have to cut the OEM caliper mounts off of your knuckles. So those little ears, you just gotta cut them off, shave it down, make it look all pretty, maybe put some paint on so don't rust, stuff like that, and should be good. So this really isn't hard to install. We're gonna go out there. The hardest part I would say is taking the hub off with the axles on. Check our YouTube channel for install videos, youtube.com/gktech. So I'm actually gonna watch this video real quick. Plus Officer Dan does all those videos. That guy's funny as hell. This is like a $600 setup. It's totally worth it for me. And we're also gonna see how well this mounts up, because my center console kind of starts going down along the transom, like right here. So hopefully we don't have to cut too much. I guess we're gonna find out. But holy cow, I'm talking a lot. Let's get outside to the car. So the GK Tech tutorial wants me to remove the whole knuckle. Now, I don't really want to do that. So we are going to try to see if we can do all of this without removing the knuckle. I believe we can. If you do have an e-brake, you should probably remove the knuckle. I don't have an e-brake, so I'm gonna see if I can get away with it, because all we gotta do is be able to pop the hub off, and then we gotta take the caliper off and cut the ears off, and then, you know, shave them down. I think I'm gonna save myself some time not undoing all these. They're all 17s and 19 sockets, so it's just going to be easy either way. I do have my big impact here, and I do have the axle socket, which is a 36 for the rear. These are S14 hubs. I don't know if S13 ones are different, probably not, but yeah, so we're gonna take these wheels off. Ooh, while I'm here, I gotta replace that stud, so I'm gonna do that. But yeah, so we're just gonna take everything apart and see if we could do it without removing the whole thing. Whew, just like I said, I was able to get it off without unbolting this lower control arm bolt, and then this upper control arm bolt, and this, what is that, tension rod, whatever it is. Luckily, when I put this rear end together, if you guys did not see that video, go watch it. And yeah, I put anti-seize on this. So luckily it just came out with a few taps. Got lucky on that. So what we're gonna do now is figure out how much of these ears we're gonna need to cut off. As you guys can see, I just slapped this thing on here. I put the bolts in backwards just so it could sit in the right spot. As you can see, here's where our caliper used to mount. So the ears are now in the way, so we gotta cut those off. So we're gonna draw a line, probably cut it right here, draw another line, and then we'll cut this off right here. So then we can pull this back off, cut these off, smooth them out, maybe lay a tiny little coat of paint on them so they don't rust, and then we will get back with you. All I did was cut those two ears off, and then I just sprayed some paint. I don't know, some random paint I had left over. This is engine ceramic paint, so that's good enough. Matte black kind of blends in. So yeah, we're ready to test fit the new calipers. So the thing is with these calipers, so now I think you could just put your OEM one on top and then your Hydro one on the bottom. That way you don't overextend your OEM line. So what I'm going to do here is mock up my caliper. And remember guys, when you're mocking up your Hydro caliper, make sure you're using the side with the bleed port closest to the top, because if you accidentally switch them backwards, you're gonna have a very hard time bleeding your caliper. You're actually gonna have to take it off and flip it upside down to bleed it. So yeah, so we're gonna take this one and we're gonna mount it on the bottom. Yes, it's yellow. No, I don't really care. I'm not gonna repaint it right now. I'm going to run it and then I'm just gonna repaint it later. You see how close these two calipers are gonna be butted up against each other? It's actually gonna hit. So I figured out that's what these are for, but I got metal shavings all over. They're just guides. So you bolt the bolt on both sides, and then whatever's sticking out of this guide you have to cut off. So as you see, it's just a very little bit. So yeah, just mark it with a marker and cut it off, and then I'll do the same. This one's going to be a little bit harder because I still have the brake line attached to it. Don't want to take it off. So yeah, we're gonna bolt the guides on both of them, and then we are going to chop them, and then we can mount them to our bracket, our sandwich plate, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so it's on. Everything's not fully tight. I just wanted to see if these calipers are gonna hit each other, and yeah, they do. I need to curve a little bit more around the edges because they're barely touching each other, and I have a feeling if I just run it, they're gonna end up rattling or something, or I don't know, with my luck something will crack. It's a really tight fit, but man, that looks kind of cool. We shaved down the top of this knuckle because I had a hard time getting the bolt in on the caliper, the upper bolt. So let me put it this way guys, the main reason why I want to leave the knuckle in the car is because I want to make it accessible as I can to work on it in the car. So let's just say we're drifting and we have a problem, we need to pull a caliper for some reason. You don't want to have to take your whole fucking shebang off, your whole knuckle off and all that just to get your damn caliper off. So I'm trying to do this while it's on the car only because I want to make it more accessible. So shaving this down, not really a big deal. We're gonna see if we can have a little bit better time getting the bolt in there. Okay, so when we do this side, we're going to thread the bolts in for the hub, but we're not going to tighten them. We're just gonna thread them in, I don't know, halfway, so you still got a little bit of wiggle jiggle. So guys, remember, before you tighten this up, remember to get this top bolt in there, because once you tighten it up, you won't be able to get the bolt in. You'll still be able to hit it with the wrench, but you won't be able to get it actually in. Presses right up against this arm. So now we got that bolt in. Throw the bottom one in too, because the bottom one's kind of a pain in the ass to get to. So just throw those 2 bolts in. Then we'll throw the rotor on. Then we'll lightly bolt the calipers on. And then we'll snug up the hub bolts. Just remember guys, if you have a hard time getting to a hub bolt in the back, just remember, you can easily get an impact or a ratchet or an extension. But if you can't get it, go ahead and take a jack, put it under the lower control arm, and jack it up. That'll clear some room. So pretty much all we gotta do is ooga dooga this axle nut on, and then we can get to the lines. So I don't know about you guys, but I like to do the hardest thing first. That way the rest of everything is just quite easy. I'm not gonna say easy because trimming the console is gonna be kind of hard. So what I'm gonna do, pull out the console, and you'll see there's an old hole right here that is for the stock e-brake line. So we're gonna go ahead and we are going to feed the hydro supply in from the bottom, because as you guys can see right here, there's a T. So it goes from 1 to 2, and then those will go to our caliper. So we're gonna feed it from the bottom, that way we don't gotta shove a bunch of line through that tiny little hole. All right, fam. So we got the soft line just laid out here on the ground. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the front and we're gonna fish it through the hole under the car. That's gonna take us right to our shifter. Okay guys, so I've been working away over here. I got the hydro mounted. Everything's kind of just loosely fitted. But first problem I ran into, the master cylinder hit the seat. So what I had to do is bore out the hole where this mounts. I had to bore it out that way a little bit so I could kind of swivel it or rotate it. So this is the fixed point, and then I just kind of rotated that away from the seat, so it's no longer straight. It's like instead of pulling it straight, I'm actually pulling it a little bit kind of like that way, but it's okay, I won't even notice. As you can see, it's like a little crooked now, but no big deal. Now we have our line here. Here's our banjo fitting. I got a crush washer on this side, a crush washer on this side. I have the line nicely ran, and then here's the hole. And then I had these nice little clamps, these finisher clamps that have little rubber on them, and when you tighten them, they hold the line in pretty good. So I got that, avoiding contact on the trans tunnel here. Goes under the car. And then I got another little clampy clamp right there. So now we're kind of holding it in place. Then the T goes on top of the subframe. Now the reason why it goes on top of the subframe is if you ever have to drop the subframe, you do not want to have to undo your hydro kit to drop your subframe. All you have to do is unbolt the caliper. So I kind of have that. These lines are a little bit longer than I want them to be. Don't worry, I'll find some place to waste some of that. No big deal. And then it goes to the banjo, straight to the back of the hydro caliper. Pretty simple enough. So I'm just gonna go ahead and zip tie that up. And if you guys haven't seen, here is a good view of how the calipers look with this GK Tech dual caliper kit with these 2 big ass freaking calipers, these U32 calipers. The yellow is not growing on me at all, so that's gonna have to get repainted. Okay, so now here comes the kind of the other hard part. We gotta cut the center console because it sits like right over this. So the hard part of that is going to be me being a perfectionist, and it's going to be really hard. This isn't the best looking center console out there anyways. You see all these problems with that, so we're just going to wing it. So what we're going to do, I know on my Lexus all I did was follow this line pretty much all the way to right here. I'm going to try not to do that. But I am going to follow this line, and I'm going to go, and then I'm probably going to bring it down right here where that ugly little cigarette burn is. Bring it down right there, and then we'll go from there. You know, it's funny guys, I thought I was gonna get all complex with it, but it was just really simple. I basically just cut a big square out. I started here, went up, and then, I don't know if you guys can see that, and I ended right here. So I left a little bit to kind of keep the structure of the center console pretty much in. By the way guys, if you didn't notice, this is actually a dash out of a Toyota Altezza. I also made a video on this, so go ahead and watch that if you guys are interested. It's almost perfect. There's my hand on the steering wheel. Here's the hydro. So I'm thinking maybe put it a little bit more forward so it doesn't get in the way of my steering wheel. But we can adjust it. We got a bunch of adjustment here. So we're going to adjust that forward a little bit. Okay, we got the banjo fittings tightened up. Got a .4 brake fluid here. We have our master cylinder. So I'm gonna try doing this by myself. I don't have anyone to help me right now, and I'm kind of impatient. So what we're gonna do, we got this bungee cord hooked up to the freaking roof. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put it like this. We're gonna yank it a few times, and then we're gonna hold it. And while we're holding it, I can bleed it and then come back. You know what I mean? Just kind of, I think that will work okay. If we need more tension, we can always just put it further back somewhere in a hole. So we're gonna try that out. I think it's gonna work. And just like that, we bleeded it less than 10 minutes just by myself. Real quick and easy, only because the lines are so small and they only go halfway across the car. So I got it all filled up. I'll throw the cap on before I make a freaking mess. I love that pull. I don't like a long pull, I like a short pull. Never mind. Guys, I totally forgot to film an outro. I was editing this video and I didn't see an outro, so I'm just out here at the car right now, a month later, filming this outro. So we already did take the car drifting and the handbrake worked really well. So here is the final setup. You see, I did move the handbrake forward so it doesn't get in the way of my hand when I'm turning the wheel, and it's perfect. The grab is really nice and the pull is only, I don't know, a couple inches, so I like that a lot. And I also did get the center console back in and together, so you can see everything's looking good. This e-brake boot, I didn't really know what to do with it, so I just put it in, and then as you can see, I kind of just split the seam right there just to kind of get that through, and I just kind of tuck that in. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with that. That's good for now, but yeah, I'm really happy with the hydro. Works really well. And here's the wheel on. So I'm really kind of glad that I put this on because my wheels weren't flush enough, and I didn't have any more studs left for more spacer, so this made me flush. So that's cool. Anyways guys, I want to thank you for watching. I do have a few videos that I'm going to edit. Took this car drifting, hauls ass, love it a lot. So I'm going to edit those videos, but for now, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. This is Finalizing from Slightly Modified. I'm out. Peace guys.